Man, is it just me, or does it feel like every time the Lions lose, the week goes by faster? I don't understand. Maybe that's because, we're looking to get our revenge. That's just me, but every time we win, the week to me is slower than if we lose. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below if that is how you feel as well. I feel like that's only me, but I don't know. This week has gone by extremely fast to me, but we're going to be giving you my top 5 players. This is Lions Watch Part 2 versus the Arizona Cardinals. And we have one honorable mention this time instead of 3 players, as I thought that was a little bit too much. So we're only got one honorable mention this time. And my top 5, starting off, number 1, we have Levi Onwuzurike. Now, Levi has, in my opinion, had a very, very good season so far. Everybody was hyping him up in the offseason, specifically the Lions writers, as they were hyping him up, saying he's in the best physical condition he's been in his career, and he's recovered from all his injuries and he's ready to go, and he definitely looks like it through the games. He has 1 sack through 2 games, half a sack in the first game, half a sack in the second game. And Levi Onwuzurike has looked really, really good. He's looked faster. He's looked stronger. He's looked more. He looks more fast. He looks very, very good. Levi Onwuzurike. So he's very curious to watch me, specifically with Marcus Davenport, as I haven't showed you the injury report, but Marcus Davenport is now off the injury report. I'll be showing you the injury report in my next video coming out in a couple hours. But Marcus Davenport is off the injury report. And that is huge, which means obviously Marcus Davenport is the other edge to Aiden Hutchinson. So will Levi start, and how much will he play? That's my question, and I continue to see him success, especially with Reader and Davenport and Hutch now all playing in the same game. That's going to be huge. My second player, now this is only if he gets elevated, but I had to put him on here. Tim Patrick. I expect him to get elevated. There's no way he doesn't get elevated, in my opinion. I think he could even get signed as well today. Tim Patrick had a very underrated game last week. He only had, I believe, 3 receptions for 20 yards, somewhere around there. But he had one incomplete pass that he caught as a target. It was on the sideline, and not a very good throw by Jared Goff. I think he was just trying to get rid of it. Tim Patrick reached out and grabbed it, just couldn't get his feet down. It was a heck of a catch if he could have kept his feet in bounds. And again, we need that big body receiver, especially going against guys like Budda Baker in the secondary, Sean Murphy Bunting. So we need Tim Patrick, and I'm very curious to see how much he plays, if he plays more than Khalif Raymond this week. As it looked like he was starting to, get more reps than Khalif Raymond in the wide receiver 3 role. So let's see if he gets more this week and how much they're going to target him. And that's my question, so he had to be on this list. Now, number 3, obviously, see him in part of the thumbnail, Jared Goff and Ben Johnson as 3 and 4. Jared Goff has struggled the first 2 weeks. Wasn't very good against the Rams, and he was dreadful versus the Bucks. But I do expect him to bounce back. It's Jared Goff, one of the better quarterbacks in the league. Going against, I don't want to say weak because they do got Budda Baker. They do got Sean Murphy Bunting, one of the most underrated corners in the league. But they don't have as strong as a secondary as the Bucks, even without Antoine Winfield, and the Rams, even without Darius Williams. So Jared Goff, I think he'll bounce back, but he's very key to watch. And also why he's on this list is because he's looked way more scared this year under pressure than he has in the previous 2 years. 2021, still like he was with the Rams, extremely scared, in my opinion. And this year, to start off, he looks scared. I don't know if he doesn't trust the offensive line. If Jonah Jackson not being there is that big of a difference with Kevin Zeitler, I don't know. But he looks way more scared in the pocket this year than he has the previous 2, which is a little bit concerning because he does not play well when he does not feel comfortable in the pocket. So, but I do expect him to bounce back. That's why he's on the list. And my 4th guy is Ben Johnson because he had a good, not good, I don't want to say, but he had a solid week 1 performance, making the calls, but week 2 was dreadful. Probably his worst calling game as a Detroit Lion, as the offensive coordinator. It was terrible, terrible, terrible. Again, I'm expecting to bounce back. One of the best offensive coordinators in the league, if not the best. Should have been hired for a head coaching job this offseason. I'm so glad he didn't, obviously. But, yeah, I expect him to bounce back. And then my final guy, main person on the thumbnail, you see him, Jack Campbell. With Alex Anzalone being questionable this week and Dan Campbell's optimistic if he'll play, it'll be a game time decision. Jack Campbell potentially will get his first shot at potentially being our key linebacker down the stretch. Jack Campbell, he's an old school linebacker. We drafted him in the first round, 18th overall last year. Extremely high for a linebacker, especially when Jack Campbell is projected to go in the late first, second. So Jack Campbell has not lived up, I would say, quite yet to the first round pick. He has showed promise last year and so far this year with the little bit we've seen him, but he hasn't had that breakout game yet. And I'm very curious to see if this is finally the game that he'll break out. He's got more pressure coming from the defensive line. Reeder, Davenport, Hutch, Levi, etc. He's got Derek Barnes, Germ, Neiman, Rodriguez to help him in the linebacker room, even if Anzalone is out. So I'm very curious to see if Jack Campbell finally has his breakout game, and I'm going to be watching him a lot during this game. He hasn't looked great to start off the season, but I expect that to change versus this. My prediction is Jack Campbell has his first breakout game as a Detroit Lion. And my honorable mention is Kendall Vildor, as on the injury report, Terrion Arnold is questionable with an illness and a hand injury. So I'm very curious to see if Kendall Vildor, how much he'll play, if for some reason Terrion Arnold is out, or if he'll have limited snaps. So I'm very curious to how Kendall Vildor play. You guys know how I feel about Kendall Vildor. I don't think he deserves the hate. He only deserves the hate, in my opinion. He doesn't deserve any of it. But the only reason why I think he gets the hate is because of the helmet catch that I don't even want to bring it up anymore. But Kendall Vildor, I wonder how much he'll play, and I don't think he's bad by any means. So I think he will be able to hold his own, especially against the Cardinals receivers. They got Marvin Harrison, but their backup is like Michael Wilson. I don't really know. And he's okay, but come on. So, leave your thoughts, comments down below. Do you agree with my top 5 forces? Is there anybody that I missed to put in my top 5 that I should have? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. It's finally here, and we're going to get this one this time around. We better.